Good morning. It's a nice morning today, isn't it? I like mornings like this, when it's cold and there's dew on the windows, the car windows. I like your hair. The color suits you and the cut frames your face well. You're welcome. Could I have a green tea latte? No, not the matcha. The tea bags. Thank you. And could I get that with soy milk? No foam. Thank you. You can write Natalie on the cup. Thank you. The girl walks away. She's tall, taller than women usually are. She has long, brown, straight hair that looks like it hasn't been brushed in a while. She doesn't look unkempt, but she doesn't exactly look put together either. She takes a spot by the window, not facing outwards, but on the other side of the table, looking at you, staring at you. You keep working at a stain behind the counter, something the closers left. They always leave something. It's a dark, brown coffee stain stuck to the counter. You can't get it out. You work at it and work at it. You look up. The girl is still looking at you. You go back to the stain, pretending not to notice. You look up again. She's still staring. Staring deep into your eyes. Rachel puts the green tea in front of you. She sees the tea on the counter. She stands up. Rachel gives you a side eye. She's judging you for what you're doing to the stain on the counter, anxiously picking at it. You can't make eye contact with her. You didn't think you were doing anything out of the ordinary, but you're embarrassed now. This tea is for me, right? Thank you. Are you struggling with that? I can help you with that. Will you let me? Okay. There we go. When they're stuck on like that, you just have to get under them. Hard. Just keep pulling. I'm sure you'll get the next one, though. You look like a very good girl at this type of thing. What sticks out the most about her is her voice. It's monotone and deeper than you're used to. She wears blank expressions, too. The only display of real emotion from her came when she pulled that stain off the counter for you. It was in her forearm. The way she dug her nail under the crushed grinds on the table made her forearm flex. You swear you could almost see the individual muscle fibers twitching, her skin becoming tight and her veins bulging through. She helped you. She walks out the door. Your eyes follow her. She's not wearing particularly tight clothing, but the distinct shapes of defined muscles show through when she walks and the soft fabric of her clothing presses up against her skin. Throughout the day, you find yourself glancing up to the table she once occupied. Hours go by. She's still not there. Rachel tells you she's not feeling well. She asks if you can cover her closing shift so she can go home and rest. You agree. You don't want to agree. The day passes. It's only you in the cafe. Taking orders, working bar, microwaving sandwiches. So many sandwiches. You'll never look at a tomato the same again. Nobody else orders a green tea latte, just the tea bags, not the matcha, with soy milk and no foam. You don't stop thinking about that order. The sun has set. You flip the open sign to closed. You lock the door, sweep the floors, get everything ready for the openers tomorrow. You won't leave a stain on the counter like the last closers did. When you're ready, you pick up your bag from the back room, put on your jacket, clock out, and head to the front door. You open it. It's cold outside. You remember the first time you closed. It wasn't long after you started. Your first shift was on Black Friday. The cafe's in an outdoor shopping mall. You wonder, why did you even stay after that? The cold in the air and the memory of being a verbal punching bag for uncaffeinated Black Friday shoppers reminds you of the ski trips you used to take in school. Reminds you of being on a bus, window slightly cracked, cold air stinging your sinuses, your head resting gently against the seat in front of you, your bag sitting on the seat next to you. You never were good at standing up for yourself. That's why you usually sat alone on the bus. It was easier to avoid people than to have to say no to them. You step outside, close the cafe door behind you, and lock it. Your car is on the other side of the parking lot. A row of evenly spaced street lamps illuminates the parking lot, shows you the way to go. You start the walk, shivering. Are you cold? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. You looked cold. Inside, I mean. Yeah, I saw you. The window was open. I mean, you don't have blinds on the window. If you're cold, you can wear my jacket. It's bigger than yours, and it has fur on it. The woman takes off her parka and gently hands it to you. She's looking at you with that same blank expression that she had on in the cafe. It does look warm. She's so tall that her jacket will probably fit you like a dress. She says nothing. She just stares at you. You don't even really know which direction she came from. From this vantage point, though, you can see that her car is parked directly next to yours, previously hidden by the silhouette of your own car when viewed from the cafe door. Are you going to put on the jacket? She asks, flat and monotone. Despite her voice having no discernible emotional quality, you think she's mad at you. You put on the parka. I like the way that looks on you. It makes you look small. Your car won't start. The battery's dead. I saw your lights were left on. I'm sorry for not telling you. I can give you a jump, but my cables are back at my apartment. You should get out of the cold. Get into my car, and I can take us to get the cables. You should really get out of the cold. Classic serial killer lines. Textbook, almost. You can hear it now. The true crime podcast interrupted by ads for a meal service, pushing out sound bites for YouTube and TikTok. Things like closing shift gone wrong or cold brew, cold body in the fridge. Really vile stuff. You need to leave. Now. It's not safe to be around this woman. She's clearly stronger than you. And you're clearly at a disadvantage. She has a car, and you don't. You run. You don't make it very far. A few 100 feet at the most. A side effect of her being so much taller than you is that she's indescribably faster than you. No matter what you do, you don't think you ever could have gotten away from her. 1 second you're running, you can see your breath in front of you, and the next, her foot is around your ankle and your face falls into the snow. You gasp for air, desperately trying to pull it out. Well, that was fucking stupid of you now, wasn't it? Stop fucking squirming. Good girl. She holds your head down, pushing you deeper and deeper into the snow. You open your mouth to try to scream for help, but as you do, it fills with chunks of snow. They melt slowly, leaving behind mud and gravel from the road below. You feel gross, dirty. You wonder why this is happening, why she's doing this to you. Tears well up in your eyes. Oh, there, darling. She pulls you out of the snow. You look so cute when you're crying. Did you know that? She punches you 1 time, hard, in the stomach. You can't breathe. You start crying even harder. You're doubled over, looking at the ground, gasping for air again. And you're even cuter when you can't breathe. You can feel her hand work its way through the back of your hair. She grabs hard and pulls you up to look at her. Now, let's go get those jumper cables. You're sitting in the back of her car. It's old, but not too old as to be falling apart. And it's clean. Surprisingly clean. You always imagined that the psychopath killers of the world wouldn't have a particular eye for cleanliness. But hell, she's even got the little black tree dangling from the mirror. She has you in the back seat behind the driver's side. Your wrists bound to your knees with rope and your knees bound together so you can't move them. She has you buckled in, which effectively restrains the rest of your body, and without the use of your hands, you can't unbuckle yourself. The ropes are hidden under a blanket that she's placed on top of you. You think for a second about how, if anyone were to pull up beside the car and take a look inside, this might look like a completely normal scene. A lovely, supportive, strong girl giving her friend or little sister a ride home after making sure they have a blanket in the back to keep them warm. You feel sick to your stomach. You struggle slightly, but it's been a while since you've eaten and you're on a major caffeine crash from your shift. You think it's just about useless when the rope budges a little. Certainly not enough for you to free yourself, but a good start down that path. A girl in the driver's seat looks at you through the mirror. Her eyes are blue, steely, and show no expression. It's been a while since I've been on a road trip, you know. Do you like car rides, road trips? She asks. You used to, you think. But now, will you ever be able to sit in the backseat of a car again without thinking of this moment? Tears well up in your eyes again. She notices you crying. Still no expression in her eyes. Do you want something to eat? Ice cream, maybe. You're at a drive-thru. It's a 24-hour one in a town you don't recognize. There's a single car ahead of you. You're about to get to the speaker. If you say anything, the worker on the other end of the speaker says hello, cutting her off. Do you have ice cream? She asks. The worker says yes. I want one ice cream, please. The worker asks if she'd like anything else. From the tone of her voice, it's clear. She hasn't done this in a while, or maybe ever. Do you have, chicken nuggets? The worker says they do. She reads off the total and asks your kidnapper to pull forward. Do you like chicken nuggets? She's looking at you from the mirror again. You nod your head slowly. I thought that you might. I've seen you eating them before. Terror fills your veins, but it doesn't quite outpace your hunger. You can't help but be excited. She pulls up to the window, hands her credit card, and the worker hands her a bag. Thank you. She takes the car out of the drive-thru and onto the main street. She drives for about 5 minutes till she finds an abandoned parking lot, the big overhead lights still beating on the concrete. She pulls in, far from a light, but not too far as to cloud the car in total darkness. I don't want you to be hungry, she says. She opens the driver's side door, takes off her seatbelt, and comes to the back window. She lowers it. You're staring, face to face with her, and still belted in and tied down. She reaches into the bag and pulls out a small box of chicken nuggets. You should eat these before the ice cream. It's better for you. She opens the thin, greasy cardboard top of the box and pulls a chicken nugget out. She's bringing the chicken nugget through the car window, holding it gently in her hand in front of your face. The stale, grease smell of the breading on the chicken nugget is almost overwhelming. But there's another smell. She's standing so close to you that you can smell a faint hint of body odor. It's not too overpowering, but it's there. She's been sweating. I need you to open your mouth for me, she says. You don't want to. You don't want to give her this satisfaction, to make this easy for her. But you're so hungry. And the chicken nugget, despite being cold, smells so good. She brings it closer, seeing that your resolve is breaking. This is the only chance you're gonna get. You open your mouth. She places the chicken nugget inside it. You chew, softly at first, then ravenously. She pulls another chicken nugget out of the box and puts it in your mouth. One after another, you chew them all down. It feels amazing to eat after this long, to finally not feel the hunger in your stomach. You finish the last of the food and then look her in the eyes. She has the hint of a smile on her face. You did really well. The smile vanishes, and she reaches back into the bag to pull out a small cup of ice cream. Soft serve. Your favorite. You can have this now, She leans into the car window and places the cup of ice cream on a small lip attached to the driver's seat in front of you. You have to lean forward to eat it, though, she says. She rolls up your window and gets back into the driver's seat. You start to protest. In your tied-up state, you're unsure if it's going to be feasible to lean forward and lick the ice cream out of the bowl as she drives. You try to tell her that, your panicked words coming out far less eloquently. She starts driving, then slams on the brakes. Your head swings forward, making contact with the cup of ice cream. It gets all over your face, in your nose, in your eyes, and the cup falls to the ground. She stops the car. It's going to be a lot harder to eat now. She opens the door again and comes to your door. She opens it, unbuckles the seatbelt, and pulls you out of the car. She puts you on your knees on the pavement. You're face to face with the ice cream on the floor of the seat you were in. Lick it up, she says. You spilled it. You need to clean it up. You look up at her. She pushes your neck closer to the mess. I know you can do this. You're good at cleaning things. You shake your head. This seems disgusting. Who knows what's been on these floors? Besides, you don't have much of an appetite at this point anyways. You hesitate, and hesitate, and hesitate, until her fist comes again, this time between your shoulder blades. It pushes your face down onto the floor. More ice cream in your eyes. She pulls your head out of the car and throws you onto the pavement. She gets on top of you, straddling you, pinning you completely to the ground. She holds you by the neck. Why do you think you're so much better than me? She asks. You shake your head, try to protest. You don't. You don't think you're better than her. Of course not. You would never think something like that. How could you be better than a psychopath who hurts people for fun? Liar. She's hitting you in the stomach again. You can't breathe. I could tell the moment you looked at me. You think there's something fucking wrong with me, don't you? You think I'm a freak. She holds you to the ground. You can feel the cold pavement on the back of your skull. You still taste ice cream on your lips. You're so lucky that you're pretty. She put you back in the car. This time, you're tied up on the ground. You don't even get the privilege of having a seat. The blanket's covering you, and your face is right next to the ice cream on the ground. It's all melted, and it's gone warm. When she makes a particularly sharp turn, the puddle of sweet, sticky mess sometimes moves towards your face. You pull and try to angle away from it, but you don't always manage it in time. More ice cream has collected on your face and in your hair. You feel so dirty. The car ride lasts a while, longer than you imagined it would. You wonder how she's still awake after all these hours. The green tea you made her certainly wouldn't have been that strong. By the time the car finally stops for good, the sun is coming up. You're inside a basement. At least, you think you are. When she pulled you out of the car, she put a bag over your head, the same one that the chicken nuggets came in. The greasy, fried smell is sticking to you. You wonder if it'll ever come out of your hair. You're led by ropes around your wrists into a corner of the room. She ties the ropes to something, then pulls the bag off. I think that, I owe you an apology, she says. You're damn fucking right you do, you think. Inside, though. That's an inside thought. About the car. Your car, I mean. I was the one who killed the battery. And, I don't have jumper cables. You can't tell what to make of this. That's what she's apologizing for? Not, the whole kidnapping and beating and ice cream thing. Furthermore, you don't detect any hint of irony or sarcasm in her voice. Her eyes have that same cold, dead look as always, but something tells you she's being sincere here. She wants you to forgive her for lying. You're frozen. You don't know what to do. There's a pit in your stomach, a pit that says, don't give her the satisfaction. Don't lie to her and tell her it's okay. None of this is okay. You're alone, terrified, in a cold basement. Don't give her the satisfaction. It's just... Your train of thought breaks. She's moving again. Slowly but surely, she's moving towards you. I don't really know how to socialize all that well. I don't know if you can tell. You have more inside thoughts, things you don't verbalize. But when I saw you, I just knew. She's getting closer. In a few more moments, you'll be able to smell her breath. You feel sick again. I knew that you were special, and I want you to see that I'm special too. Her face is next to yours. You're staring into her shimmering eyes. They're so blue and so empty. Her lips move closer to yours. They part slightly. What is happening? She pulls away. The first night passes about as well as it can. She brings down a bed for you to sleep on and a blanket to drape over yourself. It's soft and warm, all things considered. Before leaving the basement for the evening, she places something next to your head. It's dark, and you can't use your hands to grab the object and bring it closer to your face on account of them still being tied, but you strain your neck a little and look at what it is. It looks like a plushie. She moves it so it's nuzzled up against you. Take good care of him, okay? Her voice comes from the top of the stairs before turning off the light and closing the door.